Number 20. Woo. Well, we're going to use the quadratic formula here because the quadratic formula will always answer these questions. It will always take my trinomial, as long as it's set equal to 0, and it'll tell me, hey, what x value will work here. Guaranteed to always work. So we're going to use it. Well, what is the quadratic formula? It's the equations x equals the opposite of b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac. Technically, it's two equations. We add the square root of b squared minus 4ac and we subtract it. But we want to write it just in one formula for right now. And then 2 times a. So there's the formula we're going to use. Now, over here to the side, we're going to put our a value, our b value, and our c value. Those values are the numbers in front of x squared is your a. Right there in front of the x is b, and that number right there is your c. So a is 1, b is 6, and c is negative 55. We also will come in here and do a 4ac. We're going to go ahead and just calculate that 4ac piece. 4 times 1 is 4, times that is what? Negative 220. Okay? So what do we get? We have x is equal to the opposite of b. Opposite of b is negative 6, plus or minus b squared. 6 times 6 is 36, minus, this is negative 220, so minus a negative 220, all over 2 times a, which is 2 times 1 is 2. So negative 6 plus or minus, that minus and negative is going to change to what? Plus, and that's going to be 256 over 2. That's a perfect square. That's a perfect square. So what I mean by that is that's a perfect 16. Square root of 256 is 16. So we have negative 6 plus or minus 16 over 2. So I need to break it into its plus and its minus. So x is equal to a negative 6 plus a 16 over 2, or x is negative 6 minus a 16 over 2. Well, what does this give us? Well, negative 6 plus 16 is 10. 10 divided by 2 is what? 5. There's one of our x values. Negative 6 minus 16 is negative 22. Divided by that, negative 11. Those are our two solutions. What this technically means, it means that if we graphed this parabola, it's crossing the x-axis, which notice the height there is 0 at those two spots. That's what it's doing. As far as what we want the values that make the equation true. So you put down 5 and you put down negative 11.